Adam had not planned to feel anything when he returned to the farm. He told himself it was only a task. He would check the land, sign the papers, and sell it. That was the whole plan. He arrived in the late afternoon with his son Leo, who sat quietly in the passenger seat and watched the countryside change from busy roads to open fields. The farm appeared at the end of a narrow lane. The old wooden gate still stood, but it leaned to one side. Tall grass grew along the fence, and the mailbox was faded. The farmhouse sat back from the road, small and tired, with paint peeling from the porch rail. Behind it, the barn rose like a shadow, red once, now dull and worn. Adam slowed the car and parked near the gate. Leo stepped out first. He was 12, thin, and alert. He looked around as if he expected something to move. The air smelled like dry soil and old wood. A cold breeze slid across the field and made the grass bend in waves. Leo walked a few steps forward, then turned to his father. "This is the place you grew up," he said. Adam nodded. He did not smile. He kept his hands in his jacket pockets and stared at the house. The sight of it brought back a tight feeling in his chest. He tried to push it away. He told himself that memories could not change his future. He needed money, stability, and a fresh start. The farm could give him that if he sold it. They carried 2 small bags up the porch steps. The front door was locked, but Adam still had the old key on his ring. He had kept it without thinking much, like a habit he never questioned. The key turned slowly, and the lock clicked. The door opened with a soft sound, like a sigh. Inside, the house was quiet. Dust floated in the light coming through the windows. The furniture was covered with sheets. The air smelled stale, but not terrible. Adam walked through the living room and into the kitchen. The table was still there. The cabinets were still the same. He remembered sitting at that table as a boy, watching his father drink tea and read papers. Those memories did not feel warm. They felt sharp, like old glass. Leo wandered behind him, looking at everything with wide eyes. He lifted a corner of a sheet and saw an old chair. He traced a finger across the dusty surface and made a small line. "Are we staying here tonight?" Leo asked. "Just one night," Adam said. "Then we meet the agent tomorrow." Leo nodded, but he did not look excited about meeting any agent. He moved toward the window and stared out at the barn again. The barn was far, but it seemed to pull his attention. Adam put their bags in a small bedroom. He checked the water and power. To his surprise, the electricity still worked. A light flickered when he flipped the switch. The fridge hummed softly, as if it had never stopped. Adam frowned. He had assumed everything would be off. He opened the fridge and found nothing inside except an old bottle of water. He closed it and stood still for a moment. He felt a strange question in his mind. How could the power still be on? Who had been paying the bills? He tried to think of a way it could happen, but no clear answer came. Leo appeared in the doorway of the bedroom. "Can we see the barn?" he asked. Adam wanted to say no. He wanted to rest, eat something, and end the day. But he saw how Leo looked at him. The boy's eyes were bright with curiosity. Leo had been quiet lately, quieter than normal. Adam had blamed school stress and growing up. Now he saw something else. Leo seemed hungry for a change, for something real. "Fine," Adam said. "But quick." They walked outside again. The sky was turning orange, and the shadows were growing long. The wind was stronger now. Adam pulled his jacket tight. Leo walked ahead, stepping over stones and patches of tall grass. Adam followed, watching his son move with energy. The farm had already done something to Leo. It had taken him out of his usual world of screens and noise. The barn door faced them like a closed mouth. Adam stopped near it and looked at the heavy wood. The padlock was still there, but it looked newer than he expected. That made him pause. He reached into his pocket and pulled out another key, smaller and darker. He tried it. The lock opened with a clear click. Leo's face lit up. You still have the key, he said. Adam did not answer. He pushed the barn door with his shoulder. The door was stiff, but it moved. It opened slowly, letting out a rush of cold air and a smell that surprised Adam. It smelled like hay, clean straw, and animals. Not the smell of a place abandoned for years. Leo stepped inside first. Adam followed, and his eyes adjusted to the dim light. Sunlight came through cracks in the wooden walls and made thin bright lines across the floor. Adam expected to see cobwebs and broken tools. Instead, he saw neat stacks of hay along one wall. The floor was swept. A bucket of fresh water sat near a stall. Leo walked forward carefully. His boots made soft sounds on the hay scattered on the ground. Adam felt his heart beat harder. He did not understand what he was seeing. Then a sound came from the back. A low, calm sound, like a breath or a soft step. Leo stopped. Adam stepped in front of him without thinking. He raised his hand as if to protect his son. Another sound came, then a small movement. A large brown horse stepped into view from the shadows. It was tall and strong, with a smooth coat and alert eyes. It did not look wild or scared. It looked cared for. Leo's mouth opened in surprise. "Dad," he whispered. "There's a horse." Adam stared. The horse lifted its head and watched them, calm but aware. Behind it, Adam saw shapes in other stalls. 2 goats stood near a pile of hay. A small calf lay on clean bedding. Adam's mind raced. This was impossible. No one had told him there were animals here. Leo took a slow step forward, but Adam held his arm. "Stay," Adam said quietly. Leo nodded, but his eyes were locked on the horse. The animal blinked slowly and did not move away. Adam looked around. He saw feed bags stacked neatly in a corner. He saw a shovel and broom hanging on hooks. He saw fresh hoof marks in the hay. This barn had been used recently. Someone had been here, maybe even that same day. Adam felt a mix of confusion and anger. This was his property. Who was using it without permission? Who had brought animals here? He took a step forward, scanning the shadows for movement. That was when he heard a small cough behind them. Adam turned fast. An old man stood near the barn entrance, partly lit by the sunset. He wore a thick jacket and a wool cap. His face was lined by age and wind, but his eyes were steady and kind. He held a small lantern in one hand. "Easy," the old man said. His voice was calm. "Don't scare them." Leo looked at the man, then at his father. Adam kept his body stiff. "Who are you?" Adam asked. The old man lifted his free hand slowly, showing he meant no harm. "Name's Ben," he said. "I live down the road. I been looking after this place." Adam narrowed his eyes. "Looking after it," he repeated. Ben nodded. "After your father passed, the farm went quiet. Nobody came. But the land don't stop being land, and animals don't stop needing food. I didn't want it to rot." Adam's mouth went dry. He had not expected a person, not a story, not this moment. He looked at Leo again. Leo was not afraid. Leo looked interested, even hopeful. Adam tried to keep his voice controlled. "You brought these animals here?" Ben shook his head. "Not all. The horse belonged to your father. He bought her before he got sick. Her name is Bella. I couldn't let her starve. The goats were from my cousin, and the calf came later. I kept them here because the barn was strong and safe." Adam stared at the horse again. Bella. The name hit him like a small hammer. He remembered his father talking about wanting a good horse again. Adam had thought it was just talk. Leo took a tiny step forward. "Can I touch her?" he asked softly, not to his father, but almost to the air. Ben looked at Adam. "If you let him," Ben said. "She's gentle." Adam did not answer right away. His plan had been so simple this morning. Now everything felt different. The barn was not empty. The farm was not dead. And his son's face showed a kind of happiness Adam had not seen in a long time. Adam swallowed and said, "We need to talk." Ben nodded once. "We do," he replied. The wind pressed against the barn walls, and Bella shifted her weight, steady and patient. Leo stood still, waiting. Adam felt something inside him move, something he had locked away for years. And for the first time since arriving, Adam was not sure he wanted to sell the farm anymore. Adam stood in the barn with his arms crossed, trying to stay calm. The animals moved gently around them, making soft sounds that filled the space. The horse shifted closer to the stall door, curious but relaxed. The goats chewed hay, and the calf lifted its head, then rested again. Nothing felt rushed or dangerous. Still, Adam felt the weight of questions pressing on him. Ben set the lantern on a hook and stepped forward into clearer light. He spoke slowly, choosing his words with care. He said he never planned to take the farm away from anyone. He said he only wanted to keep it alive. When Adam's father became sick, Ben helped when he could. After the funeral, the farm was empty, and the animals were left with no one to care for them. Ben could not ignore that. Adam listened, but his thoughts moved fast. He remembered the day he left the farm years ago. He remembered the silence after his father passed. He had told himself that closing this chapter was the best way forward. Now he stood in a place that felt active and warm, filled with life. It did not match the picture he had built in his mind. Leo stayed close to Bella, his eyes shining. Ben noticed and smiled. He said Bella liked calm people. He said animals could feel when someone meant no harm. Adam watched his son slowly raise a hand. He nodded once, giving permission. Leo touched Bella's neck, gentle and careful. Bella did not pull away. She lowered her head slightly, as if she trusted the boy. That small moment struck Adam deeply. He had tried many ways to help Leo feel settled in recent years. New schools, new homes, new routines. Nothing had worked as well as this simple touch. Leo stood taller, more confident, as if the barn itself gave him strength. Ben asked if they wanted to sit and talk. He pointed to a small bench near the wall. Adam agreed. They sat while Leo stayed near the horse, listening but focused on the animals. Ben explained how he fixed the roof when it started leaking. He showed Adam the tools he repaired and the fence he rebuilt. He said the land still produced good grass and that the water from the well remained clean. Adam asked about the power and water in the house. Ben said he paid the bills himself. He said it felt wrong to let the place fall into darkness. Adam felt a knot in his throat. He had assumed no one cared. He had been wrong. They walked out of the barn together as the sky darkened. The farm felt different now. It no longer looked abandoned. It looked patient, like it had been waiting. Ben offered to show them his small home nearby, but Adam declined. He said they needed time alone. That night, Adam cooked a simple meal in the farmhouse. Leo helped without being asked. They ate at the old kitchen table. The light above them hummed softly. Leo talked about Bella and the goats. He asked questions about feeding times and shelter. Adam answered when he could, and when he could not, he said he would learn. After dinner, Leo went to bed early, tired from the day. Adam stayed up, sitting by the window. He looked toward the barn, barely visible in the dark. His thoughts went back to his father. He remembered the man's rough hands and quiet voice. He remembered how the farm had once been full of sound and purpose. Adam had left because he felt trapped. Now he wondered if he had misunderstood what the farm truly offered. The next morning, Ben returned with fresh bread and warm milk. He greeted Leo like an old friend. Leo followed him to the barn, eager to help. Adam watched from the doorway. He saw Ben teach Leo how to brush Bella's coat and clean the stalls. The boy listened closely, copying every move. Adam noticed how careful Ben was, how patient. He treated the animals with respect and Leo with trust. Adam joined them after a while. He helped lift hay bales and fix a loose board. The work felt honest. It made sense. His muscles ached, but his mind felt clear. He realized he had missed this feeling more than he knew. Later that day, the agent called. Adam answered the phone outside, away from the barn. The agent asked if Adam was ready to move forward with the sale. Adam hesitated. He looked at Leo laughing softly as a goat nudged his leg. He looked at Ben guiding the calf back to its pen. He felt a quiet pull in his chest. Adam told the agent he needed more time. He said the sale would have to wait. The agent sounded surprised but agreed. Adam ended the call and stood still for a moment. He felt nervous, but also relieved. Ben noticed Adam's mood change. He did not ask questions. Instead, he spoke about the seasons and how the land needed care year-round. He said rebuilding took patience. He said the farm could grow again if someone chose it. Adam knew Ben was not pushing him. He was simply sharing truth. That afternoon, Adam and Leo walked the fields together. Leo talked about planting vegetables and caring for animals. He spoke with hope, not fear. Adam listened and nodded. He realized Leo was not asking for permission. He was sharing a dream. As the sun lowered, Adam felt a quiet decision forming inside him. He was not ready to promise anything yet. But he knew one thing clearly. This place was more than land to sell. It held a chance to rebuild something real, something steady. That night, Adam stood outside the barn alone. He rested a hand on the wooden wall and felt its strength. The farm was alive. And for the first time in many years, Adam felt alive too. Adam woke before sunrise. The house was quiet, but it did not feel empty anymore. He lay still for a moment, listening to the soft sounds of the farm. Wind moved outside, brushing the walls. Somewhere far off, an animal made a low sound. Adam sat up slowly and felt a calm he had not known in years. He stepped out of bed and looked through the window. The sky was pale blue, slowly warming with light. The barn stood firm in the distance. It no longer looked like a reminder of the past. It looked like a place with purpose. Adam dressed and walked outside. The air was cold and clean. His breath showed as he crossed the yard. When he reached the barn, he saw Ben already there. Ben was checking the water and spreading fresh hay. He worked without hurry, as if time moved differently for him. Ben greeted Adam with a nod. They worked side by side without talking much. Adam liked that. He liked how the work spoke for itself. He lifted hay, cleaned tools, and fixed a loose latch. Each task felt small, but together they felt important. Leo arrived later, rubbing sleep from his eyes but smiling. He went straight to Bella. The horse lifted her head when she saw him. Leo brushed her coat carefully, just as Ben had shown him. Adam watched his son move with focus and care. Leo did not rush. He took his time, respecting the animal. After the morning work, they ate breakfast together outside the barn. Ben shared stories about the land. He talked about seasons, storms, and good years. He said the soil remembered those who cared for it. Adam listened closely. He felt like he was learning something that had always been there, waiting for him. Later that day, Adam walked the edge of the property alone. He followed the fence line and checked posts that leaned. He made notes in his mind of what needed fixing. As he walked, memories returned, but they felt softer now. He remembered his father teaching him how to mend a fence and how to read the sky for weather. Adam had once believed those lessons were chains holding him back. Now he saw they were tools meant to guide him. In the afternoon, a neighbor passed by. She stopped to talk and smiled when she saw activity on the farm. She said it was good to see life back here. Adam felt a small sense of pride. He realized people noticed when a place changed. Back at the house, Adam found old papers stored in a cabinet. He sat at the table and sorted through them. There were notes written by his father, simple plans for crops and repairs. Adam read each page slowly. His father's handwriting was careful and clear. It showed hope and patience. Adam felt a strong connection in that quiet moment. Leo joined him and looked at the papers. He asked questions about planting and animals. Adam answered honestly. When he did not know something, he said they would learn together. That idea felt right. Learning together felt better than trying to lead alone. In the evening, Ben came by with a box of seeds. He said they were good for the land. Adam accepted them with gratitude. They talked about planting times and water needs. Adam felt like he was becoming part of something larger than himself. That night, Adam could not sleep easily. His mind was full of thoughts. The agent had called again earlier, leaving a message. Adam had not returned it. He wondered what would happen if he stayed. He worried about money and responsibility. He worried about making the wrong choice. He got out of bed and walked to the porch. The stars were bright above the fields. The barn stood quiet, holding the animals safe inside. Adam remembered how lost he felt in the city. He remembered long days that felt empty. Here, even the quiet felt full. The next morning brought rain. Adam and Leo worked together to keep the barn dry. They moved tools and checked the roof. The rain fell steady and calm. The farm drank it in. Adam felt like the land welcomed the effort. As days passed, Adam stopped thinking in terms of leaving. He began thinking in terms of building. He made a list of repairs. He planned schedules. He spoke with Ben about shared responsibility. Ben never pushed. He simply stayed present. Leo changed too. He laughed more. He asked fewer questions about going back to the city. He slept better. Adam noticed how grounded his son seemed. That alone felt like a reason to stay. One afternoon, Adam finally returned the agent's call. He spoke clearly and calmly. He said the sale was off for now. He said he needed time to decide the future of the farm. The agent accepted it, though surprised. Adam ended the call feeling nervous but steady. That evening, Adam told Leo the truth. He said they might stay longer. He said nothing was final yet, but they had a choice. Leo smiled and hugged him. He said the farm felt like home. Adam held his son close, feeling the weight of the moment. As the sun set, Adam stood in the barn doorway. He watched Bella eat calmly. He watched the goats rest. He felt the strength of the wooden walls around him. This place had tested him once. Now it offered him a second chance. Adam knew the road ahead would not be easy, but for the first time, he felt ready to walk it. The farm was not just a memory anymore. It was becoming their future. Adam woke with purpose now. The days no longer felt heavy or slow. Each morning brought work, and the work brought meaning. He stepped outside and breathed in the cool air. The land stretched wide and quiet, waiting for care. Adam felt responsible for it, in a way he never had before. Leo was already awake. He stood near the barn with a bucket, moving with confidence. Adam smiled as he watched his son work without being told. Leo had learned the routine. Feed first, water second, then clean. He followed the order carefully, respecting the animals and the space they lived in. Ben arrived later than usual that morning. He walked slower, leaning more on his stick. Adam noticed at once and asked if he was well. Ben said age made some days heavier than others, but he was fine. Adam offered to take over the harder tasks. Ben accepted without pride. That moment shifted something between them. Adam was no longer just a visitor. He was a partner. They spent the morning repairing the far fence. Adam measured and cut wood while Leo held tools and watched closely. Ben guided them with simple advice. The fence slowly straightened, post by post. Each solid thud of the hammer felt like progress. At midday, they rested under a tree. Ben spoke about the past again, but this time his stories were lighter. He spoke of harvest days and shared meals. Adam listened and realized his memories had always focused on struggle. He had forgotten the good moments. He wondered how many other things he had misunderstood. After lunch, Adam drove into the nearby town. He needed supplies and information. He spoke to a local shop owner who remembered his family. The man welcomed him warmly and offered help. Adam felt a sense of belonging he had not expected. It surprised him how quickly people accepted his return. When Adam came back, Leo ran to meet him. He asked about seeds, tools, and plans. Adam answered each question carefully. He did not rush. He wanted Leo to feel included. They spread seeds together later that day, pressing them gently into the soil. Adam explained patience. He said growth took time. Leo nodded seriously. That evening, Adam cooked dinner while Leo set the table. They talked about school options nearby. Leo seemed open to change. He asked if he could invite a friend one day. Adam said yes. That simple promise felt important. After dinner, Adam sat with papers spread across the table. Bills, plans, notes. He added numbers and made lists. The farm could survive, but it would need careful choices. Adam did not feel afraid. He felt focused. Fear had ruled him before. Now responsibility felt different. It felt earned. Ben visited again after sunset. He brought an old toolbox and placed it on the table. He said it belonged to Adam's father. Adam touched the worn handle and felt a deep respect. He thanked Ben sincerely. Ben waved it off and said the tools were meant to be used, not stored. Later that night, Adam walked alone to the barn. The moon lit the fields softly. He ran his hand along the barn wall and felt the solid wood beneath his palm. This place had endured storms and silence. It was still standing. Adam realized he wanted to stand with it. The next days brought more challenges. A water pipe froze. Adam and Ben worked together to fix it. The task took hours, and their hands grew stiff. Leo helped by carrying tools and warming water. They solved the problem together. Adam felt proud, not because it was easy, but because they did not give up. One afternoon, the agent arrived unannounced. He stepped out of his car and looked around with interest. He said the land had value and offers were waiting. Adam listened politely. Then he spoke clearly. He said the farm was no longer for sale. Not now. Maybe not ever. The agent tried to persuade him, talking about profit and ease. Adam shook his head. He said some things were worth more than money. He thanked the agent and watched him leave. When the car disappeared down the road, Adam felt a weight lift from his chest. Leo hugged him tightly after that. He said he was glad. Adam held him close and said he was too. That evening, neighbors stopped by with food and kind words. News traveled fast. People were happy to see the farm active again. Adam welcomed them and listened to their advice. He did not feel alone anymore. As weeks passed, the land began to change. Green shoots appeared where seeds were planted. The animals grew stronger. The barn felt warmer. Adam felt grounded. He noticed changes in himself. He laughed more. He slept deeply. He felt present. One quiet night, Adam sat on the porch with Leo beside him. They watched stars fill the sky. Leo asked if Adam ever wished he had stayed before. Adam thought carefully. He said he wished he had understood sooner. Leo accepted that answer. Adam looked out at the fields and felt a calm certainty. Staying was not running backward. It was choosing to move forward with purpose. The farm had given him another chance, and this time, he was ready to accept it. The choice to stay was no longer a question. It had become a promise. Adam woke to the sound of rain tapping softly on the roof. It was a gentle rain, not heavy or loud. He lay still for a moment and smiled. The sound no longer made him worry. It made him think of growth. He stepped out of bed and looked across the room. Leo was still asleep, wrapped in a blanket, breathing slow and steady. Adam felt grateful. His son looked peaceful here. The farm had given Leo something stable, something real. Adam went outside after breakfast. The fields looked darker from the rain, but the soil smelled rich and alive. He walked toward the barn and opened the doors wide. Bella lifted her head and gave a soft sound. The goats moved closer, waiting patiently. Adam worked calmly, feeding and checking water. The routine felt natural now. Ben arrived later that morning, carrying a small basket of tools. He said the rain would help the crops. Adam agreed. They walked the land together, checking rows and fences. Ben moved slower these days, and Adam adjusted his pace to match. They talked about simple things. Weather, repairs, plans for the coming weeks. Leo joined them after finishing his chores. He held a notebook where he had started writing down what he learned. Adam noticed and felt proud. Leo had taken ownership of the farm in his own way. He asked questions and listened carefully to the answers. As the rain stopped, sunlight broke through the clouds. The fields glowed softly. Adam felt a deep sense of peace. He realized he was no longer counting days or planning an exit. He was planning a future. In the afternoon, Adam drove into town with Leo. They visited the school and spoke with a teacher. The teacher welcomed Leo warmly and talked about classes and activities. Leo looked nervous at first, then curious. Adam saw hope in his eyes. They also stopped at the market. Adam spoke with local sellers and arranged small trades. Fresh produce for supplies. Help for help. The town felt connected to the farm. Adam felt part of a larger circle. When they returned home, Ben was waiting near the barn. He had brought a young tree. He said planting it would be a good sign. Adam agreed. They chose a spot near the house. Together, they dug the hole and placed the tree carefully. Leo filled the soil around it, pressing gently. Adam stood back and looked at the tree. It was small, but strong. He imagined it growing tall over the years. He imagined Leo growing with it. That thought stayed with him. As evening came, neighbors stopped by again. Some brought food. Others brought stories. They sat together outside and shared a simple meal. Laughter moved easily among them. Adam felt something he had not felt in a long time. Belonging. After everyone left, Adam and Leo cleaned up together. They moved without speaking much. The silence felt comfortable. When they finished, Leo asked a question that surprised Adam. He asked if they would stay forever. Adam did not answer right away. He thought carefully. Then he said forever was a long time, but some choices shaped a whole life. He said staying here felt like the right choice for now and for the future they could build. Leo smiled and nodded. That answer was enough. Later that night, Adam walked to the barn one last time before sleep. He checked the doors and stood quietly inside. The animals rested peacefully. The barn felt warm and safe. Adam thought about the day he arrived. He had come to sell the land and leave his past behind. Instead, the farm had opened something inside him. It had shown him that leaving was not always moving forward. He remembered his father and felt no anger now, only understanding. His father had stayed because he believed in the land and the life it offered. Adam finally understood that belief. Adam stepped outside and looked up at the sky. Stars filled the darkness. The farm was quiet, but alive. Every sound had meaning. Every task had value. In the months that followed, the farm grew stronger. Crops filled the fields. Animals thrived. Leo settled into school and made friends. Adam balanced work and rest. Ben remained a steady presence, guiding when needed, resting when tired. The barn became a place of gathering. People came to learn, to help, to share. Adam welcomed them. He told the story honestly. He said the farm was not saved by one person. It was saved by care, patience, and choice. Years passed, and the farm stood firm. The tree they planted grew tall and strong. Leo grew taller too, learning responsibility and kindness. Adam watched with pride. They never sold the farm. What they found in the barn that first day was more than animals and tools. They found purpose. They found direction. They found a reason to stay. And staying changed everything.